Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to do the instant match reaction of Arsenal 1 and Fulham 1, where Josh Maja scored a penalty and Eddie Nketiah scored in the final minutes of the game in stoppage time. And in my opinion, if I was to take this game, I think the final minute goal is something that might overshadow the whole performance in my opinion, because it's typical Arsenal once again. Because in my opinion, I think Arsenal should have taken this game very easily like they did versus Sheffield United, but they didn't put away their chances. And I think this is the problem with Mikel Arteta. He plays very good in the European competition, and when it comes to the Premier League, we're back to same old Arsenal and we seem to struggle. But I did thought there was a good performance, but we should have taken our chances from the first minute, because we clearly see that if we did, we would have been 4-3 or 2 up in the first half. And we'll start off with the first highlight of the game, which was a bright start by Arsenal, and they almost take the lead within the first minutes, where Alexandre Lacazette chips the ball over to the top of the Fulham defence for Martinelli to chase, and just gets to it ahead of Areola and flicks it towards Gabriel Martinelli to chase, and he gets it ahead of Areola and flicks it towards the far corner of the net. However, it flies just inches wide of the post, and that was just one chance where Gabriel Martinelli could have put away, and I thought it could have been 1-0. And then after another moment in time when it was a lovely move down the right wing, a couple of good passes by Saka and Swift throw, the ball breaks fortunately for the latter, who races into the box, then pulls it back from the byline for a teammate to meet. Gabriel Martinelli manages to fire an effort towards goal, but Areola makes a brilliant save, pushing it out wide. So if the Gunners took those chances, they would have been ahead, but at the same time, Fulham had their chances as well, where Reed picks up the ball on the edge of the box. He holds off his marker and fires a low effort towards goal. However, it takes a deflection, which fortunately for Fulham lands straight at the feet of Maja. The striker turns and drills a low shot at goal, but this is also deflected, this time by Rob Holding, and it almost sneaks in the bottom left corner of the net, and Matt Ryan was scrambling back across his goal. So you clearly see that Fulham had their chance as well, so it could have been 2-1 in my opinion, but none of this would have happened if Martinelli had those two in the net, because I thought from the first minute, the way the Gunners played, the bright starts, the way they've been doing that in recent games, I thought, okay, this is going to be an easy game. Finished it off in the first 30 minutes or first 45 minutes and just rest the players until the end, but they struggled to get a goal, and they had their chances as well. And then we move on to the next thing, which was a goal actually by Dani Ceballos, but then with a tight offside decision, it turns out to not be a goal. But if you want to talk about it, Arsenal do take the lead by Ceballos firing the 1-0 lead. They work it superbly down the left wing with Gabriel Martinelli whipping it into the box, which Lacazette brings down, lays it to Saka, who flicks it out to Bellerin. The right back then delivers a lovely chip cross, which is met by the head of Dani Ceballos, and the midfielder powers it into the far corner of the net. Excellent finish. However, it looks like VAR were going to take a look at a possible offside in the build-up, and they did, and they didn't include that goal for the Gunners. That could have been 3-0, but it was ruled out for offside. And to be honest, I think the Gunners were unlucky, even though they did play well. But you have to take your chances in this game, and the Gunners didn't. And I do feel that it was unlucky for the Gunners, but we can't talk about luck all the time for the Gunners, in my opinion. And then even just at the end of half time, Xhaka finds Lacazette. He plays a through ball to Smith Rowe, and he sneaks in behind the Fulham defence before attempting to chip the ball over Areola. However, the flag goes up for offside. And in terms of the first half display, it was level at the break between Arsenal and Fulham, with the Gunners having a late goal chalked off by VAR for offside after it looks like Ceballos had fired them ahead with a header. Gabriel Martinelli had a couple of good opportunities for the hosts, firing just wide within the first minutes, then forcing an excellent save from Areola later on. Meanwhile, Fulham grew into the game, and Maja's deflected shots almost sneaked into the bottom corner, but that's as close as they came. And that's pretty much even if you think it was a 0-0 game, because no one got their chances away, and I thought it was unlucky for Gunners in my opinion. But then we move on to the next highlight of the match, and it's a bad thing for the Gunners because it was a Fulham penalty. The referee took a long time to make his decision, but he points to the spot and Fulham have a penalty. Aina races into the box and can't quite reach the ball, but Lemina then picks it up and Gabriel Magalhaes dives in, sticking out a leg, and Lemina goes down. It looks like the defender just caught the toe of the Fulham man, and any contact nowadays in the penalty area is going to be penalty, and Madger converts from the penalty spot and sends Fulham 1-0 up. Lemina won the penalty after his caught by Gabriel Magalhaes, who flicked out a leg. There was a lengthy VAR review to check the decision, including a possible offside in the build-up, but the penalty was allowed to stand, and Madger stepped up to take it, and he smashed it high into the back of the net, and I thought Matt Ryan couldn't do much about it, in my opinion. And then we move on to the next part of the thing, and I thought it was just a couple of chances by the Gunners. They had a few opportunities to score, but it looked very difficult. But there was very bad news for the Gunners with the likes of Lacazette coming off with an injury, and hopefully he is good, because it's a big decision. But then after that, they had a couple of chances. Martinelli had a save and saved by Areola. But then it was a beautiful goal by Arsenal after they equalised in stoppage time, and it's 1-1. Eddie Nketiah taps it home from just a couple of yards out. It comes from a corner, which Ryan flicks on, and it's picked up by Dani Ceballos, who drills an effort towards goal, which Areola superbly saves. However, he can only push it straight into the path of Nketiah, who fires it into the back of the net, and VAR are going to take a look for it to make sure, and they did allow this one at least. And the Gunners probably will be angry with VAR again, with the likes of Craig Paulson once again refereeing, and the decision just don't go our way. So we have to just take the positives out of the game. We played a good game, and both sides were very end to end, but probably Mikel is probably thinking we should have easily won this game in the first half. Martinelli had that one chance where he chipped. It was a brilliant chip by Lacazette, and it was a nice chip by Martinelli, but he was unlucky, or he could have been 1-0 in the first minute. The game would have been fully different, in my opinion. But for Mikel Arteta, he knows that this inconsistency of the Gunners is something that he has to wipe off our game, because I think our next game's against Everton, and they look like they're in a bit of a shaky form at the moment as well. So it all depends on Mikel Arteta. Can he get the best out of this team? Can these players play for Mikel Arteta? And can they finish their chances away? Because probably Kieran Tierney is sitting there saying, take your bloody chances, because the Gunners didn't take their chances, in my opinion, and we have to keep moving on forward, keep making sure that the Gunners have good positive, because the positivity is the fact that they didn't lose the game. They got a draw, and Mikel Arteta is probably thinking that at least they got a comeback, and that's something that he can take as a positive, and that's good for Eddie Nketiah that he got his goal for his confidence. But other than that, guys, I think that's it from me. But remain blessed, stay tuned for the next video, and peace.